welcome back. In this video I'm going to show you how to make this really cute little snowman out of a Dollar Tree candle. So all you need is one of these tall white candles in a jar from the Dollar Tree. Something to hold it still while you work on it. I'm just using one of my old craft towels here. You also need something to paint his face and decorations on with. Now you can use a Sharpie, you can use acrylic paint, fabric paint, whatever you want to use. I just happen to really love this glitter glue, and it comes in a bunch of different colors. I got this at Walmart. I use it quite a bit for so many crafts. The only downside with this is it takes a while to dry. So if you are using a colored glue, you need to decorate your little guy here and then put him to the side and let it dry at least 24 hours without moving it or touching it, or you know, all of the things that you paint on here is going to be run off to the side, and you know, just it's not going to look very nice. You also need something to make his little scarf with. You can use a scrap of fabric, or in this case, I have this poor mutilated sock that I got from the Dollar Tree. I used it in my sock snowman craft. I'll put a link to that video down below. But I'm just going to cut a big long strip off of part of this sock to use as his scarf. Now I find it easier to go ahead and tie his scarf on and get it into place. Excuse me. I just got over a really nasty cold and it's still lingering. I like to go ahead and tie his scarf on and get it into place. Try to see if I can get it somewhat even with this little guy here so they don't look like, you know, so they don't look totally different. Okay, then that way it kind of gives you a guide as to where to put the face and where to put his buttons. Okay, so like I said with this glue, it does take a while to dry. So whatever you're using, go ahead, I know this is such an odd angle, go ahead and start to put the little guy's face on. I'm just going to put a big blob right here. This glue, that'll be one eye. Now let's see if I can get them even. That's a challenge for me. Okay, let's see if they look even. Yeah, somewhat even. If they're not even, just kind of use the tip of your paint or whatever you're using just to kind of smear it around a little bit. Now let's take a look-see. Okay, that looks good. Now, with this glue and fabric paint as well, if you look, you can see where it's just a big blob on there. Okay, now when this dries, it's not going to be a big blob. It's going to dry flat, okay? So don't worry about that. Now I'm going to make his nose with the orange, and the way that I make little carrot noses, see if y'all can see this, is I just make a big blob and then just kind of drag it out to the side into a point. You can drag it out a little bit more. And if you need to come back, once this is dry, because I did on this one, once his nose was dry, there was like a little, like a bare spot, I guess you could say. Well, where it was thinner in one section than it was on the other. Just paint back over it and let it dry again. We'll wipe off the tip of this glue here. And now I'm going to make his mouth. And while you're working with your paint, colored glue, you know, what have you, if you make a mistake, it's okay because it's so easy to clean up while it's still wet. And to do that, let's hope I don't make a mess here. While it's still wet, it is really easy to clean up. You can use a wet Q-tip. You can use, hold on, we'll see if I can get it to do it here. Well, kind of right here. You could use a Q-tip or whatever you need to use to kind of like get down in there. I'll show you. See this, where I goofed up right here? Just take a little brush, you know, or whatever, and just smear it around. This is actually one of my nail art brushes that just happened to be laying on my table here. I'm going to do my nails later. But just kind of smear it around until you get into a little circle. Okay, and then lay this little guy to dry. I'm going to paint his buttons on. So I guess I should have said to do that before I said to let him dry. Okay. Let's see. See if you guys can see this. Okay, let's put a big blob here for a button. Big blob here for a button, and a big blob here for a button. There we go. Let's see if that looks okay. Ah, that don't look like circles, does it? See, this stuff is so easy to correct. I mean, if you make a mistake, that's one of the good things about working with this colored glue, is that because it takes so long to dry, you have a really, really long time where if you make a mistake, you can correct it. And let's say that I really, really did not like what my buttons look like, or I didn't like the placement of anything. All you have to do is just take your finger, wrap it with a cloth or something, wet it, and just wipe it off. It wipes off, and you can start over again. A lot of paints and markers, too, are so fast drying. You know, you really don't have time to correct your mistakes. But that's why I like this. Let's see. Oh, look. They're not twins, but I guess you can tell they're from the same family. All right, so that's all that there is to this. And if you want, you could put a little hat on them, you know, when I'm going to move him over. While they're not burning, you could put a little hat on them. Like take the foot part of your sock here and put it on him like this. Okay. Oops, I got a piece of fuzzy on it. Okay, just take the top part of your sock, the foot part, and put it on his head and roll it up a little bit. Just like that. Sort of make a cuff. And then let's see, do I have a piece of yarn? Yes. Take a piece of yarn. I'm sorry that my craft table is such a mess. I tell you, I've been doing a little bit of everything today. I've been I've been painting. I had the sewing machine out earlier. I was sewing. Oh my gosh, I've been doing a little bit of everything. Just tie a knot. I'll tie another knot here. Okay, that can make a little hat. Let's roll it up. Okay. Now cut off the toe part of the sock right there. And I'm going to take his hat off while I do this. So I just cut off the toe part of the sock right there. And then come back and just cut little strips down to where you tied your knot here. Okay, and you don't want to cut them really wide. Cut them kind of thin, but not thin enough that it's all going to fall apart on you. Just going to cut some strips right here. Okay, let's do some more right here. Accidentally cut a piece off. And then just work with these. If you pull them, a lot of times they'll curl. Just kind of bunch up with your finger there. Then just trim off any that are too long. And then make sort of a little pom-pom. Just slide it back down on. And there you go. He has a little winter hat. So you can make little hats for him. Like I said, you know, when you're not burning them, of course. You know, just to give him a little extra something. So, there you go. There's your snowman candle. Quick and easy. The only really time-consuming thing about this is the drying time. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I have a ton more coming. So please click that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with all of my new videos. Also, please check me out on Facebook and my website. The links to both of which are in the description box down below. And I look forward to seeing y'all next time. Bye.